YouTube? Welcome back. This is going to be a different video. Usually I do reviews or pastor talks, but I decided I need to do a top 10. I see this all the time on other people's channels, and it looks really fun, and I really enjoyed making my own top 10. Today's top 10 is going to be 10 games that I want to buy. But I do have an honorable mention before I start. There's one that I really want to play and buy, but after seeing some of the reviews of the components and different things like that, I'm kind of hesitant. The game is Paradise Lost. This game is it takes some fairy tale creatures and throws them together. And what you do in this game is you go around a board. It's kind of like if you ever played Takedo, you go from a different space to the next space. You can jump how many spaces you want up, but you're also trying to solve a mystery of like who done it with what weapon, almost like a Clue. And so it mixes Clue and Takedo together. That game's Paradise Lost. And so I don't really want to buy it now after seeing all these like negative reviews. So I'm going to hold off on that until I see some better reviews. So starting with the list, I'm actually doing maybe another honorable mention, but a game that I do want to buy, so it's going to be like number 11. It's going to be Catan, Rise of the Incas. Now this is kind of an honorable mention and my number 11 because my brother actually has the regular Catan. But this one, Catan Rise of the Incas, adds a new little element to the game where after you've done built up your civilization quite a bit, you might be stuck and can't move anywhere like the regular Catan. Well, this lets you put your civilization in decline. You still get some benefits from your cities until somebody takes them over, but you get to start your own, a whole new kind of clan and tribe and just start building that up. I thought that was a really cool mechanic because I'd always get blocked by somebody building a road or something like that, and so I really want to try this game out and potentially buy it, but kind of hesitant too because my brother has regular Catan and I don't know if this is gonna be a better version and it's just gonna push the old Catan aside. So my number 11, Catan Rise of the Incas. So starting with number 10, it's going to be Baseball Highlights 2045. This is an older game. I've never played it, but I really enjoy the game of baseball, and the mechanics in this look really enjoyable and quick and easy, and I just love the idea of deck building. That's one of my favorite mechanics. And what you're doing in this game is you're building up your deck each round and getting better cards. And almost the way you play it is almost like the war card game. Trying to beat your opponent by playing the higher card, like that a little bit. And so I really want to buy this and add it to my collection because I really love baseball and I really love deck building. So I think this would be a really good addition to my collection. And each one of these top 10s, I'm going to give you the price that I've recently seen these on Amazon. That's where I usually buy most of my games, is on Amazon, just quick and easy. So Baseball Highlights for 2045. As of recording this video, it's $52. So it's not too bad. That's kind of my price range, is about $50 for a board game. If anything higher, I'm more hesitant. So that's my number 10, Baseball Highlights 2045. So number 9 is actually an expansion that I want to buy. This is for Scythe. It's Scythe, the Rise of Fenris. Now I put this on this list because it's adds a whole nother element to this game. I've heard it's got I think 5 or 6 different modules you add to the game, but the modules are introduced through a campaign. So each game you add a new element to the game. And so it's almost like a legacy expansion, if that makes sense. And it looked really cool and really interesting. That's my number 9 side, The Rise of Fenris. And this one is $44 right now on Amazon. So number 8 is actually Trajan. I just recently started to get into Euro games. When I first started board gaming, I was really turned off by the look of them and just how unthematic they kind of looked. But recently I've seen some of these Euros and different mechanics that they offer, and they look really interesting and fun. And so this hits my list at number 8 because it's a pretty heavy game. That's why it's so high up there. I want to get games that my wife would really want to play with me, and heavy games, she's kind of hesitant for the longer games. She likes a quick and easy game. But Trajan I want to get because it's got different ways to score points, a huge board where you can have a variety of options to go explore and do different tasks. And the way you choose these tasks is on your player board. You have these little bowls, and there's cubes in these bowls, and how you decide what action you're going to take is you pick up the cubes and drop them off in a Mancala mechanic. So I really enjoy that mechanic, kind of like in 5 Tribes, the same kind of deal. And so that's what's really drawing me to that game, is that Mancala effect mechanic. I really like that. So number 8 is Trajan, and it comes in at $55 on Amazon right now. So number 7 is kind of a Euro game as well, and this is Concordia. Now, the version of Concordia I want to get, I think, is with the expansion already with it, the Venus expansion. It comes in at $70, but the base game itself is just $55. So I'm kind of, I haven't bought it yet because I'm debating on which one to get. If I think I'm going to like it enough to go ahead and get the expansion with it, because it's probably going to be cheaper in the long run, or just wait till the price comes down on it. I don't know. But Concordia looks like a really fun game, where your hand of cards is going to be your actions for that game. And each time you lay a card down, you never pick it back up until you lay the one card down that says pick your hand back up. So you know what each person's options are, pretty much. And so it's easy to, maybe not easy, but it's a good strategy game where you're trying to figure out, what are they going to do next? What am I going to do next? What's going to benefit me better? Are they going to try to block me this next round? And it's a really cool board and way you score points, and just looks really fun. So that's my number 7, Concordia. So my number 6 is actually 2 games. It's 2 games because I want to buy it for the same reason. Because it's the same IP or the same theme put on the game. So the games are DC Deck Building, Dark Knight's Metal, and also The Batman Who Laughs Rising. So these 2 games come from the IP of The Dark Knight's Metal, which, if you don't know anything about comic books or DC, This is a really cool story arc that they've done in, I think last year they started, or 2 years ago. But the whole idea is that there's this dark universe that there's these different Batmans. And these different Batmans become the different heroes in the Justice League. Like there's a Batman Flash, a Batman Wonder Woman, a Batman Aquaman, and so on. But the main villain of the whole story arc is this Batman who laughs, which is Batman who becomes a Joker. And it's just a really cool storyline, really cool comic books for sure. These games really interest me because of that IP or the theme. So talk about the games a little bit. The DC deck building game is just like the other DC deck building games in the past. You're collecting cards, trying to defeat the big bad foes, deck building. That one comes in at $40. I don't really need to talk about a whole lot because there's other things or other deck building games pretty much just like this game. But the other one looks really cool. The Batman Who Laughs Rising. It's actually kind of from the same creators of Thanos Rising or Death Eaters Rising. It's the same idea where you're recruiting, you're almost deck building as well, but you don't shuffle your decks or anything like that. You're just recruiting heroes into your display and using those heroes to upgrade your dice rolls to defeat bad guys in the central board or central universe. And how this is different from the original Thanos Rising is you have these threat cards. You have the main deck where you draw and flip over. It could be a hero, could be a villain, but this other threat display is these cards turned face down, and those are the other versions of Batman. And so during the game, at different intervals, you will flip one of those. So you know it's coming, so you need to prepare for it. I just really love the idea of the different Batmans. That's the whole thing that's drawn me to the game. So those two games, the Batman Who Laughs Rising and DC deck building game, The Dark Knight's Metal, are my number 6. The deck building game, it comes in at $40 on Amazon right now. And the Batman Who Laughs is actually a pre-order at the time of this recording, and that is $50. So my number 5 is another Euro style game that I've been interested in lately. And I think that me and my wife would really enjoy this game, this puzzle aspect of this game. And that is the Castles of Burgundy. Now I know this is a really older game, and which one I want to buy now is that new 20th anniversary of the designer version. It comes in at $40 on Amazon right now, and that's a pretty good deal for this new upgraded version of Castles of Burgundy. This game looks really fun and interesting, where you're rolling 2 dice and you're using those dice to either get better cubes for your tableau or use the numbered dice to put a tile in your tableau. So each space in your tableau are numbers, and if you roll that number, you can put that square. It sounds really dry and bland, but once you get to playing it looks really fun and puzzly. And me and my wife really enjoy figuring out different puzzles. And so that is my number 5, Castles of Burgundy. So my number 4, you guessed it probably, is another Euro game that has interested me lately. And that is Lorenzo il Magnifico. This game, it looks a little heavier, but it's not really. It's just a really cool engine builder where you're rolling these 2 big dice, and everybody's going to be using the numbers of those 2 dice for that round. So you have I can't remember how many workers you have, but you take that worker and you place it on that number on the board. It's been a while since I've actually looked at this game, so I'm not. I can't explain it the best right now. Just from what I remember, it's a really good engine builder and puzzle as well. And so Lorenzo Il Magnifico is $36 right now, and it is my number 4 to buy. My number 3 is one that I really enjoyed the previous game in this line, and so that's what's really interesting me to get this version, or this next game in this line. Hopefully more to come. That is the Grim Masquerade. Now this is the same creators that came out with Grim Forest. That's a really fun game, and me and my game group really love that game. And so I think we really enjoy this Grim Masquerade. It's a whole different mechanics. What you're doing is you're actually a fantasy character, but nobody else knows who you are. And they're trying to figure out who you are and knock you out of the game to be the last one standing. And how they do that is they have different cards that they draw. And if I remember right, if I'm the beast from Beauty and the Beast, then they have to collect 3 roses. And once they collect 3 roses, they can accuse me of being the beast. And if I'm the beast, then I'm knocked out of the game. Kind of works like that. And there's different kind of card tradings. I think on each one of your turns, you draw. You have to choose either to keep a card or give a card away. You draw one, and you decide if you want to keep it or give it away. And if you give it away, you have to keep the next one you draw, and vice versa. So it's just a really interesting game, and hidden, a really cool deduction game. So that's why this is my number 3, and it's actually only $35 on Amazon right now. When I first saw it on Amazon, it's $25, and it's kind of gone up $10, and so I might need to buy it before it goes up anymore, because it might be looking like it's going to go out of print or something, why it's raising so much real fast. So hopefully I need to snatch it up before it goes away. Number 2 is a game that's really hard to pronounce. And you probably already know what it is since I said that. It's Teotihuacan. I can't say it the second time. But you know what it is. It's the successor to Tzolk'in, the same designer. Danielle Tassini. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the names. I'm terrible with pronunciations. But this game, Tzolk'in, is a really fun game. And so I really want to play their second game, Teotihuacan. In this game, you're using this rondel mechanic where you're moving around a board, taking actions, and all the while trying to upgrade your dice, getting the most points, and building up this central pyramid in the middle of the board. And it just looks like a really fun puzzle as well. I guess I'm really into solving puzzles in board games. I guess it's one of my favorite mechanics, but that's another video entirely. Mechanics I really enjoy. But I really want to get this game. It's only $44 on Amazon. That's pretty cheap for a grand game like this. So that's my number 2, Teotihuacan. Alright, finally, my number one game that I want to buy. I've been wanting to buy it for a long time. I've heard nothing but good reviews about this game. It's got a really good solo mode, which is really drawing to me because sometimes nobody wants to play games with me. And so that game is Everdale. Now this game is a game of tableau building and resource management. And what you're doing is you're getting these resources to buy cards to go into your tableau to help you engine build to get better cards and better resource management. And it's just another cool little puzzle where you're trying to get the best cards that'll give you the best benefits, more and more resources, better cards. And the theme in it is these little woodland creatures like mice and badgers, foxes, just different little creatures like that. And it just looks really beautiful, interesting, and just a really cool mechanics to go along with it. So there's two versions of this game right now. There's a collector's edition and a regular edition. Now the regular edition is $60, so that's around my budget. The collector's edition right now is $100. But the collector's edition does come with, I think, 1 or 2 expansions, and it comes with upgraded components. So I think I'm really going to like this game. So no, I'm leaning more towards the collector's edition. Don't tell my wife. But hopefully in the near future I will get this game and get to play it. It just looks really fun, and I'm really excited to get to it. So that's my first top 10. I really enjoyed doing it. Thinking about doing a top 10 maybe once a month. So consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more content like this, Pastor Talks, reviews. Just if you love board games, come join the conversation. I'd love to talk with you in the comments. Give me your top 10 in the comments, or just one of your games that you really, really want to buy that's on your wish list right now, but just haven't gotten around to it, or you're just waiting for the right timing. But what are you interested in getting? I'd love to see what you have to say. And as always, stay nerdy.